Ankle sprains suck, and I know because I just sprained my ankle yesterday. But luckily, I happen to know a good chiro. It's me. Ankle sprains suck because they really don't get better on their own in terms of function too well. And the reason for this is because you get a decrease in what we call ankle proprioception, which has been researched and studied in the literature to show that it actually does decrease your ability to do things like balance on a single leg, walk on uneven surfaces comfortably, and actually increases the risk of you actually spraining your ankle once again. So this one component of your ankle sprain is the thing that you need to develop first and foremost once you're able to get rid of the pain. And this is also what's going to protect you from spraining your ankle again in the future. If you're like me and you've had an ankle sprain before, you probably noticed that things just don't feel the same anymore. When you're going for a run, the way you land with that foot, when you go from a jump and land on that foot, it just doesn't feel as safe, it doesn't feel as comfortable, it doesn't feel as stable. So today we'll be going over how to start leveling up that ankle after you sprain it and how to kind of overcome this chronic injury so that you can move forward with your life so you can get back to the activities that you know and love to do. So the first thing that we're going to start off with is I'm going to show you how to do a bit of ankle taping to support the outer ankle. So it's not an inversion or eversion ankle sprain per se, but a chronic ankle sprain that we'll be working on today. We'll also be going over some ankle strengthening exercises as well as ankle balance and proprioception exercises in today's video. When it comes to recovering from an ankle sprain, it can take a few months for it to get fully functional again. That doesn't mean that you won't see gains week to week, but you gotta stay on it because proprioception is one of those things that takes daily work in order for you to permanently improve. The first thing that we're going to do is teach you how to tape up that ankle. And if you don't have any tape available, that's okay. It's not a requirement, but it'll help to make things feel a little bit better while you're doing these exercises that we're going to be going over today. Okay, so KinTape or KT tape is a type of tape that you can apply to your body that has an adhesion on it. And basically what it does is help to improve some proprioception and it can help to relieve some pain. So when you're going to go buy this type of tape, the one that we're going to be using is the long continuous type, not the one that's already pre-cut for you. And this is because for this tape job, we're going to have 3 different lengths, and I'll show you how to measure that in this video. So we have about one long one, a medium one, and a short one that we're going to use, and I'll show you how to measure. First, we're going to start with the long one, okay? So the long one that we're going to be doing is going to start from the bottom of the ball of your big toe. You're going to just roughly measure how long it will be if you kind of have it cross the bottom of your foot and come up the outer part of your shin, about halfway up that shin. Okay, and at that point, that's when you'll cut the tape. I have one pre-cut here for this video. And then from there, you're just going to break off a piece of that tape so that you can reveal an anchor point on it. And then you're going to put that anchor point just at the bottom of your big toe on a 45-degree angle or so. So from here, I'm just going to put that right here. Okay. Now, the adhesion of this tape is heat activated, so you do have to kind of rub it in and cause some friction to warm up the adhesive, and that will allow this to stick to your foot. So from there, you're going to just grab the free edge of that tape, and you're just going to kind of curl your fingers above and below this tape, just kind of like that. So just from the other angle, I'm kind of holding the tape like that. There you go. From there, you're going to put about 10% stretch in it. So you're not trying to yank the tape, you're just pretty much just guiding the tape. And with the other hand, you're just going to anchor it down as you're pulling the tape across the bottom of your foot. Once you reach that other side of the foot, once again, you could kind of just rub that tape in, create some friction to get it to stick. And then you're going to kind of cross over to the outside of your ankle. From this point, you're going to take the tape and you're just going to bring it up across the top of your foot, the outer part of your foot. And from there, you're going to go in front of this bone. You're going to go up along the front of your shin, just pulling that tape all the way up, right there. If you see some crinkles in the tape, honestly, it's not the end of the world. It's not pretty, but it's just as functional. And we're just going to rub that tape in to keep it in place. Great. Now the second piece of tape that we're going to use will be running from the bottom of your heel up now behind the bone towards the back of your calf, okay? So when you're measuring this, you're just going to take your tape and then just roughly measure and then cut it at around the same point. Once again, I have one pre-cut for me. Rip off, find the anchor point, and I'm going to put this anchor point on the bottom of my heel. Just like that, and I'm going to rub that into place. Once again, from there, I'm going to reveal the tape and I'm going to pull it up the outer ankle I'm going to actually take my ankle and then I'm going to invert it so that I could get a bit of a stretch in the tissues there. I'm gonna go just over top this bone towards the back of it. I'm gonna pull the tape up into the outer part of my calf here, and we're gonna rub that into place. From there, we're going to do our last piece of tape, and this is kind of a heel anchor, and this will help to keep your tape in place. But basically, you're going to measure it from one side of your heel, okay? And then you're going to come and bring it over so that it goes onto the other side of your heel. So just kind of looking from a back perspective, you're going to grab the piece of tape and you're going to measure it up until the other side of that, okay? So just taking my pre-cut tape, it's about this big, kind of goes like that. So for this last piece of tape, we're going to be starting from the outer ankle. We're going to be pulling it inwards. Once again, cut off that anchor point. You rub that onto the outer part of that heel. So at this point, the tape will be overlapping with the previous pieces of tape, I should say. And grab the tape, give it a 10% pull, right? Using the other hand to rub it into your body. Pulling it across the top of the ankle on the other side. And you're going to just rub that into place. So overall, this is kind of what it should look like on your foot. So you can actually put the tape on and then put your sock over top of it, and this can go underneath into your shoe as well. And what this will do is just give you some added awareness of what your ankle is doing when you're performing these exercises. The tape you can actually keep on for up to 2 to 3 days. You can shower with it if you want. You can actually keep the tape on for about 2 or 3 days. I usually tell people that they can just take it off when it gets a little itchy and put it on some new tape. All right, the first exercise we'll be doing today is a basic range of motion exercise. It's just so that we could get that ankle moving. This is really good when you're just spraining the ankle in the first few days because it will help to manage that swelling that you might be having. Now, if you don't have any swelling, you can still do it because it'll still mobilize your tissues, and movement is medicine. So what we need to do is use a band just like this. And in terms of how thick or how much resistance you want to use, it really just depends on how much your ankle can handle. So the first exercise we'll be doing is called an ankle sway. All you got to do is place this band at the bottom of your forefoot, which is kind of like where the base of your toes are. And from there, you're just going to give it some resistance. Once you have that resistance in place, all you're going to do is gently move your foot into ankle inversion, where the sole of your foot's facing towards the midline of your body, and then ankle eversion, where it then faces away. And you're going to do up to like 20 repetitions of this. Now, if you find that you have a little bit of pain with that, it's completely okay as long as it's not too uncomfortable. Usually I tell people if it's less than about 2 out of 10 pain or a discomfort, then it's not going to necessarily make things feel worse, but you do want to make sure that you're not pushing through pain at the same time. If this exercise is pretty easy, we'll move on to the next version, which are ankle ABCs using the band. So still holding that band in place, all you're going to do is take your foot and you're going to draw the entire alphabet. I like to do capital letters, but you can kind of mix it up yourself. So for example, right here, I'm going to draw the letter A with my foot, and then I'm going to draw the letter B with my foot. And you want to basically keep the shin in place while you're doing this so that you can isolate all the movement at the ankle. And then go draw the letter C. Now you do want to be careful with that line of drive of where you're pulling the band. Don't pull it up towards your face, because if it lets go, it's just going to snap back into your face. So try to keep that band parallel with your leg, keep the hands low. That way, if the band slips, it's just going to slip onto your knee rather than hitting your face, okay? So bit of a safety warning there. And then we're going to do the letter D. If this is uncomfortable, you can stop at any moment. Once again, you don't have to push through pain. And I'm on the letter F, and you pretty much get the gist of this, right? Letter G. Okay. For this exercise, you can do either version. Pick the hardest one that you could tolerate. So if doing the ABCs are a little bit too hard, just work on the ankle sways for a few days, and then try to do the ABCs a few days later. You'd be wanting to do this daily, about 20 to 40 reps a day, split into 1 to 4 sets. It really depends what you can handle. If you could go for 40 repetitions straight on, go for it. And 40 repetitions mean 40 letters worth. All right, let's go move on to our next ankle strengthening exercise. The next exercise that we'll be doing kind of uses a thicker band. This is called a monster band or a pull-up assist band. This one's rated at about 15 to 25 pounds, and we want to anchor this to something solid. I'm going to be using my squat rack, but if you don't have a squat rack, you can anchor it down to a very heavy kettlebell or to a very stationary, heavy piece of furniture like a couch. So first thing we're going to do is just anchor this around something solid. With the other end of the band, we're just going to loop it around our foot so that it stays solid. So first what I'm going to do is put it behind my heel, okay? So I have a heel anchor there. And then from there, I'm going to form an X over the top of my foot, just like that. And then I'm going to have that band coming forwards. From there, I'm going to you can either have your leg straight or knee bent, whatever you can tolerate better. And all you're going to do is let your foot go into full plantar flexion, which is where your toes are facing away from the body, and you're going to pull it up into ankle dorsiflexion, where now my toes are facing toward the ceiling. And you're going to feel this activate your tibialis anterior muscles, which is found along the front of your shin. You'll also feel some of your other ankle dorsiflexors activate as well, such as your extensor digitorum muscle, okay? And you're going to be doing about 20 repetitions of this. I like to hold it for a good 1-2 second count at the top, just to make sure that I'm getting a really solid contraction at the top of my shin. All right, so you'll be doing about 2 to 3 sets of this as well. Once again, you don't need to push through pain for this. If you have a bit of discomfort, that's okay, but pain is a different story. Okay, now that we've finished up our range of motion and strengthening ankle exercises, we'll be moving on to our balance drills, which will help to develop your ankle proprioception. Once again, the goal of proprioceptive exercises is to prevent reoccurrence of your injury. It'll help your ankle to feel more stable and solid when you need to use it. So when you run, jog, doing stairs, going up or down them, jumping, all that stuff, it's going to solidify how your foot feels. So take a look, we're going to be using a Bosu ball today, but if you don't have a Bosu ball, which is one of these things, you might have seen it at your local commercial gym. If you don't have one, you can use something like a balance disc or a balance pad. You could buy those off of Amazon for 20 to 25 bucks. But if also that's a little bit out of your range, you could just use a throw pillow or a sofa cushion to do the exercises on. Basically, you just need anything that's unstable to challenge your foot's balance capabilities, okay? So let's get going. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're actually going to place the Bosu ball upside down, so that's a flat edged up, okay? And we're going to be doing this near something that you can use for balance. I'm going to use my squat rack to give me some added balance if I need it, so I could catch myself and don't fall down and re-sprain my ankle. But what we're going to just do is practice standing on this Bosu ball for as long as possible, or for up to 20 seconds. If 20 seconds is too difficult, you could go for shorter durations, but do higher repetitions. Ultimately, I want to get about 2 minutes worth of balance time in, okay? If I have to break that up into 6 repetitions of 20-second holds, or 12 repetitions of 10-second holds, then you just kind of adjust accordingly. If you can't even do 10 seconds, even 5 seconds, just do more repetitions so that you hit that 2-minute mark. All right, so what we're going to do first is just place your foot right in the center of that Bosu ball, and you're just going to stand on it. And you can hold on to something in the beginning, but you want to challenge yourself to let go. Now, I just sprained my ankle yesterday, so my ankle is pretty sensitive here. But I'm really making sure that I'm not experiencing more than 2 out of 10 discomfort at my ankle. I feel most of the tension on the outer aspect of my ankle. And as you can see, it's actually quite a bit wobbly. And if I were to compare my right foot to my left foot, and my left ankle being the healthy one, you can notice that it is, once it adjusts a little bit, a lot more stable. Okay, so when I compare back to my injured foot, basically, we want to establish about similar levels of balance or proprioception. Usually before you return to something like playing a sport, you want to at least achieve 90% of the same results of the uninjured side, which means if I could hold it completely still for 20 seconds with my left leg, I'm at least holding it for 18 seconds with my right leg without it really kind of budging. If you're not even at the point where you can hold it completely still, if it's hard enough for you to just even stay on it, even with your good leg, then you're using that as your comparison. Okay, so if it takes 20 seconds before you fall off with your left leg, then if you can achieve at least 18 seconds with your injured leg, then that's considered like you're ready to go, okay, as one of the tests before you go back to your activities. So once again, I'm gonna go for one more go at this. And as you can see, quite wobbly, but I'm gonna try to maintain this for as long as possible. Now, eventually this exercise is going to get too easy, and your balance and proprioception will develop pretty quickly because it has more to do with how well your nervous system activates and responds to the uneven surfaces, and less to do with your actual absolute strength, which takes time to build up. So if you're at the point where this balancing drill is kind of getting too easy, you can actually make it a little bit harder by just getting your good leg and just start swinging it back and forth. And as you can see, it's a lot more wobbly, and it's because I am trying to counteract the momentum generated with my leg, okay? So this is particularly good drill if you're someone that needs to use both of the legs kind of in that fashion, like if you're a soccer player, if you're a runner, where you kind of have to have alternating movements with your leg. This will help to really increase your ability to kind of balance and work your whole body as a single unit rather than single moving parts, okay? So we're just going to do some swings here with my left leg and really try to balance against that. The last balancing exercise that we'll be doing is going to utilize both the Bosu ball and the monster band that we used earlier to strengthen our foot. But this time we're going to be using it as a source of perturbation, which means basically we're going to be using it to kind of shake the body so that you have to resist against another outside force. So what you're going to do is just place your leg right through that band. You can put that band up above or below the knee, and you're going to just have it with a light tension on your leg, okay? So from there, you're going to once again stand up on the Bosu ball with one leg, and you're going to just take the band, you're going to pull it up, you're going to snap it back down, and that's going to shake your body, and you're going to have to try to resist the forces that that band is placing on your body, okay? So once again, balancing and resisting that pull. Once again, and doing that. Okay, so for me, I kind of fatigued at 3 repetitions, so I'm going to be using that as my main metric or baseline levels today. But ideally, I'm going to be working on this daily and try to get that to 5 repetitions to even 10 repetitions. And by that point, I'm going to have pretty solid ankle stability and balance. Now, if you're finding these balance exercises pretty difficult, try not to get too discouraged. In the beginning, it tends to be pretty difficult, but you will progress pretty quickly because it really has to do with how well your nervous system kicks in. In the beginning, it's completely okay to start off really simple and just doing really short holds, but really try to challenge yourself without pushing through pain in terms of holding those balancing positions for a longer duration or doing more repetitions of the kicks or the band snaps. In terms of how long it usually takes for your balance to improve, it can usually take about 3 weeks for neuroplastic changes to occur, which is where you get permanent improvements of your proprioceptive abilities. When it comes to recovering from the chronic ankle sprain itself, it can take up to 3 months before it feels super solid. What I usually tell my patients is that usually the pain will disappear a lot quicker than full function is returned to the foot and ankle. So you want to make sure you keep doing these exercises for at least 4 to 6 weeks after the pain has gone away to really stamp in to your nervous system how it's supposed to function. All right, everyone, I hope you enjoyed my video today on chronic ankle sprains. This is the program I'm actually even giving myself to recover my own ankle sprain. If you have any questions regarding this program, let me know in the comments below. Even if it's something like what to do at weeks 5 to 6 or month 2 or 3, let me know if you have any questions regarding that. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.